The opening statement for me is really straightforward and easy. I just love to thank our fans. I thought tonight's environment here in the Cintas Center is about as good as it gets in college basketball. And it's one thing to cheer for a team that's undefeated or ranked high when everything's going well. But when your students camp out for a team that's lost several in a row, and that's unprecedented, and you're unsure, you don't really know how it's going to feel. But, man, we really fed off the crowd's energy tonight. And it's what I love the most about Xavier is our fans and how it feels to play basketball in this amazing place we have. And just wanted to thank them. I thought they were a huge difference in the game.
Coach, you talked about the confidence problem. So what does this win do for you? Not from just a confidence standpoint, but you were able to do some things that over this homestand you've been emphasizing, set the tone defensively in the first half and kind of withstand that UC push in the second half. So a lot of positives to take away from it.
No, for sure. I credit our players. It's not easy to lose. You're in the week leading to the crosstown shootout and things don't go well. We could have limped around or, blamed each other and had a couple days where we're just stuck in the mud, which would not have led us to a victory tonight. Our guys went right back to work. I thought we had some great communication between me and them themselves, player to player, coach to player, and quite frankly, coach to coaches. We have to keep learning our team to bring out the best in our group. And I thought some of the things that we really thought about, put into action, and worked on this week, we were able to do that in the game. And one of the things is just really believing in Dez, Quincy, and Davion, allowing them to have a little bit more rope. And I think me conveying to somebody like Davion, like how much I really believe in him, how important it is that he's the leader. And I thought their collective effort, those three guys tonight, was outstanding. And I thought Abu Usman, having a double-double against UC in this game, playing in it for the first time. That group of four, that's the leadership group on our team. And I think we learned that tonight, but we also learned it by failing, by not looking right, not feeling right, not being able to win games. And there's some lessons you can see. Doesn't oftentimes mean you're going to win the next one, but the path that we've been on really prepared us well to play well in tonight's game. We've not been playing easy teams like we've played. Those of you who followed us really closely, you play St. Mary's in Vegas, Washington in Vegas, at Purdue, Houston at home, Delaware and Oakland. You start to name those names. We have been in big games already, and I thought that helped us tonight.
And Sean, do you think that helped you? The two times they made a run against you or at you in the second half, the way you guys responded, why were you able to do that? Was it because of the tests you guys have been through so far?
Well, I think the first part is I'm not sure what our guys are doing at halftime, but it doesn't work. We come out after the half, and we are an utter disaster. I mean, we held them, if you think about it, just generally speaking, they had 12 field goals in the entire first half. You had about 6 in the first 3 minutes. It's something, again, that we're not perfect. We have to learn. And by the way, UC earned those baskets. It's not like we weren't trying. But we weren't the same connected, hard-playing, supercharged team at the beginning of the second half as we were throughout the first half. But we repaired that. I thought Quincy Oliveri, during some times when it looked like we needed confidence, he really gave us confidence by knocking down some really big shots. But Davion, Quincy, Dez, and Abu, that group, those are our four leaders. Only one of those four have played in a crosstown shootout before. But I thought all four of them were really good in tonight's game.
Sean, you keep talking about the four leaders. Quincy was up there before and spoke about a meeting that they had earlier this week where the players spoke about accountability both on and off the court. You hear a lot about players-only meetings and player-led meetings. How much do you think that specific meeting helped tonight's outcome?
Yeah, usually when the players meet, it's really terrible. That meeting's awful, and the reason they had the meeting is even worse. However, we had multiple talks. We had multiple practices. I thought, just generally speaking, we had a great approach to this game. Doesn't mean we're going to win, but some of the things that Quincy would have talked about, he put in action. I sensed a difference in our timeouts. I felt differently even in our practices. Not that our practices are bad, but you got to remember, we have nobody who's ever played in the crosstown shootout except Dez. I mean, we have 10 new players. We're never, ever going to be the best version of this year's team in November and December. You add our schedule onto that, there's a reason that we're 5-5. But I do think that our upside is there. I think our best basketball is in our future. And you're right. You win a game like tonight, it's a step in the right direction that hopefully propels us to play better when we play Winthrop on Saturday. You know, that becomes the next challenge. Can you go from this game, have a great week, and be better a week from today? So we'll keep moving forward, but I'm really proud of our team. You know, coaching's fun when you win and things are easy. It's not quite as fun when you lost 3 in a row and you're trying to find yourself. And you need a lot of help, staff, support, a team that's willing to go the extra mile. And, you know, really proud of our guys' approach, work ethic, stick-to-itiveness, and really I think a belief that our best days are in front of us.
Some of the guys that normally hit shots didn't. Obviously, pretty good defense on your part. The coaches you've seen, Skillings had an off night. What did you do, or were they just off?
Yeah, I mean, the storyline a lot of times is sometimes, you know, guys have bad nights. He could have been wide open on a couple that he missed. We weren't great defensively, but I thought, you know, our collective will and fighting all the way to the very end, we had a lot of good moments as well. But, you know, UC, I think their gift as a team this year is their depth. You know, on different nights, different players can step up. They're not reliant on just their starting group or maybe an iron five. One thing about our team, I think we're going to, you know, ride those 4 guys a little bit more than we have maybe up to this point. Again, you know, coaches lose, players lose. We're all in this together. We might have been subbing too much leading up into this UC game. Tonight, we shortened it a little bit. And, you know, that doesn't mean our young guys are going to play less as much as they have to improve in between games. They have to earn our trust and continue to get better so that when the game comes and we sub them in, that they help us more. And, you know, that's usually what happens with a lot of the freshmen we're playing. But, for example, Sasha Siani tonight in the 16 minutes he played, he had 4 assists, no turnovers, 2 steals, 6 rebounds, 3 for 5 from the floor. I thought he did an outstanding job. I mean, he didn't even know what the crosstown shootout meant 3 months ago. So think about how far he's come in a short period of time.
Coach, right here in the back to your left. Yeah. Obviously, if you knew a guy was going to come out and make 5 threes in a row, you know, at a 4-point play in there too, it'd make your job a lot easier. But to see that happening in front of you, what's that like to see Quincy just go off like that?
I mean, you got to remember, in the last game we played, he had 34. In the previous game against Houston, I thought he was our best player. He's really putting together a lot of great games and efforts. The one thing that I admire about Quincy is, from a defensive perspective, he might be our hardest working guard and our most complete defender. He really takes that side of the ball serious. So, like, for example, Frederick, I think, is a real key to Cincinnati's team. You know, Quincy was very responsible, chased him, didn't lose him, and I thought did a great job covering him. So we're not only getting the offense from Quincy, Quincy's also playing some really good defense. His confidence, his energy, I think it's something that our team needs, and our players are really feeding off of him. But his game tonight speaks for itself.
Forgive me if it's a generic question, you know, or anything, but 5 wins in a row in the crosstown shootout for you guys. What's that mean to get a 5th one in a row?
Well, I'm happy for our university. I'm happy for everybody that's involved here at Xavier. We invest in our basketball program. It's really important, has been important for 40 years, will continue to be important. And I think everybody really understands how important the crosstown shootout is to our fans, our students, and everybody that loves our program and university. So it doesn't mean we're going to win every one, but I think when you win a game, it certainly feels good. I know this, it's certainly better than the alternative.
Coach Jizzle James had a career high for you back here in the back, 19 points as a true freshman. What did he cause problems with for you guys defensively, and what was he able to do to really spark that plug for the Bearcats?
Well, in the first half, he really carried them. If you think about the score, we were up 35-27. I think he had 14 at the half. He had 14 at the half, so he had 14 of their 27 points. He obviously has a bright future. He's a very, very good young player.